All right, we are live here at the Analytics Den, and it's Victory Monday, boys. We have defeated the Commanders, the Commies, showed them who was boss, and we actually kind of owned them for the most part. We completely let them go unscoreless in the first half, and even when they started to make a comeback, we shut it down with two scoring drives. What a bunch of beasts. We even got an interception. It was great. It was a secure win. I wasn't that scared. It was a great game, fun to watch, and I think it's a good sign for the future of our team. We finally won a game that we were supposed to, and next week will be quite the challenge for us. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, and I'll maybe give my predictions about the Vikings. But first, I want to talk about a little bit of a mission update. So I actually might be being delayed. This is unsure, unofficial news, but I am deaf in my right ear, so I can barely hear it in my right ear. I went to an ear appointment or whatever, and I quite barely could hear anything from it. I was rated a severe hearing loss on my right ear and was labeled as deaf, so I could only maybe barely hear something if it's only my right ear. And it's just because I don't remember what part of my ear is just completely gone or dead. It's not going to work anymore. It can't be saved. So I'm going to be needing a hearing aid on my right ear. My left ear, from the crash that you guys are all aware of, at least this is what we suspect, has some bone breaks on my left ear, and it's my hearing loss isn't too bad in my left ear, but it is damaged a bit, and it could be needing surgery. So I might be needing to get surgery on that. It's unofficial. We don't know if I did officially get bone breaks or if I even need surgery. But I could be delayed, and I have no idea when I'm leaving now. I'm still planning on leaving by the initial time I told you guys, but that is going to be the news there, unfortunately. So that will be a thing. And yeah, I did want to I guess now I can give a little bit more of a breakdown on the Washington Commanders game real quick. But first, I wanted to say thank you guys all for being part of the stream. You guys have been a big part of my channel, and I'm very excited for the future to come. So, first off, so far my Monroe St. Brown having a breakout season and Jared Goff having a comeback season has been going quite well so far. Jared Goff on the season now has 10 touchdowns, sorry, 6 touchdowns to one interception. I don't know why I said 10, I'm sorry. He now has 6 touchdowns to one interception, 471 yards. He even has himself a 100.2 rating. And, it's going pretty well for him. He's also having himself on a 1-1 record. Yo, what up, JGB? How you doing, homie? But yeah, it was a good day. JG having himself a good day. Now, I also want to disclose, man, that I was actually pretty ding off a little bit on a running back by the name of DeAndre Swift because this guy is absolutely killing it. On 20 attempts, he has 10 carries. I'm sorry, 10 yards per carry, and he's getting himself 100 yards a game. He's been absolutely killing it, even when he had to have limited reps due to injury last week. He was looking great. I mean, 5 carries for 56 yards for 11.2 yards a carry. Awesome. 15 carries for 144 yards, 9.6 yards a carry. Rushing touchdown. He's been an absolute weapon, and man, I'm very glad to see how doing it. Heck yeah, JGB man, it's been awesome. It's been quite the game, and honestly, for the most part, I actually feel like we were pretty secured in the game. We did have a little bit of a scare, like, oh man, we're gonna come back, but the Lions finally did something that we haven't done in years. We we shut down the comeback opportunity, and I generally can't say that often. So this is kind of where people got a little bit scared, third quarter ish, maybe fourth quarter ish. But they score 2 touchdowns. It's 15-22, and we score a touchdown, making it 15-29. And they kind of scored a touchdown again, but we responded with another touchdown, taking away any chance of them making a comeback. And we even shut them down at the end. I'll even show a little bit of the play-by-play drives, but overall, we shut down the game. When was the last time you guys can remember when the Lions shut down a game and didn't blow a lead? And it was awesome. I have to agree. The offense wasn't perfect. There were some bad drives, but no offense is going to be perfect. And the defense also showed massive potential. 0, 22-0 in the half. It shows that we have some stuff there. Maybe we just need some growing pains out, but more importantly, it'll help that when we get Levi. Well, we'll see if Levi Onwuzurike ever plays this season, but we'll see what happens if when Levi Onwuzurike comes back. Joshua Pascal comes back. When Jerry Jacobs will come back. I know a lot of you guys like Jerry Jacobs. It really shows that this team has a lot of potential. Actually, let's see if I can find the injury list sometime later, but I'll find that after I continue to talk about this game. But it's really exciting to see what we can do. Like we've even forced us to turnover on downs. Um, we even had an interception. Like we made some clutch plays, and I again there were some plays that you would have liked to see more out of. I mean, it would have been pretty cool if we kept the game in a shutout or not even allowed them to score 27. But at the same time, dude, this happens a lot. That's why a lot of blowouts don't happen. As a lot of teams try to play a little bit more safe at the end. I believe they call it like prevent defense or whatever. But we'll get there. And this is a young team. We're going to continue to grow. And of course, I try to get the advanced stats in there. I'll maybe do a review on more of the advanced numbers on here. But this is just a box score. I'm not much of a box score watcher, but Jared Goff had himself probably his best game since Arizona maybe. Amon-Ra, I think probably this is probably his best career game. 116 yards receiving, 2 receiving touchdowns, two big carries. Um, Swift showed greatness. Josh Reynolds showed that he was a pretty good red zone threat. Swift had that amazing receiving catch. Um, Malcolm Rodriguez, he had that missed tackle, but he had 8 tackles in the game, even a QB hit. Aiden Hutchinson, 3 sacks, 3 QB hits, 6 tackles. He's showing growth. He's getting better. Um, he's doing even better than what some people wanted in Trayvon Walker. Jeff Okuda, was three. He allowed a 60% completion percentage, 0 touchdowns, and was 3 of 5, 31 yards. It really is. The team is just showing so much growth, and it's very exciting to see. And I can't. Oh yeah, also whenever Romeo comes back, I forgot that Romeo Gora was on our team. We'll see if he does play back, but yeah, that we have a lot of things that are going to come back, and the team will get better. Glenn will get better, which is overall a really exciting day. Um, I'll probably say my studs for the game was Amon-Ra, Swift, Jared, and yeah, I would say those are probably like the big studs for offense, and then the defense, of course, Aiden Hutchinson, Jeff Okuda had themselves some pretty big days, and I even say Malcolm Rodriguez and Charles Harris. Those guys all kind of made some big plays. All right, so that's just kind of my little spots there, my reactions. I'll do maybe a bigger breakdown within the week. And now, time for the Vikings Lions game. I'll give my little bit of predictions there. I generally try to say, okay, this is how we're gonna win. This is a game where I think there's a good chance we're gonna lose. I think the Eagles game will be a big deciding factor in how much of a chance we have to win. But I'll give off my score predictions for how we win, how we lose in this one, because you can never really know with football, of course. But this is probably the one that I have like the least confidence out of our first 3 weeks that we're gonna win. But here we go. So Lions versus Vikings predictions. Sorry, it's in Google Slides, but probably the best I can give you on that. Actually, I'll do a slideshow. This will be easier for you guys to see. Let me make sure it's looking up there. You guys can see that well, right? But so yeah, Detroit Lions, if we win 31-24 versus the Vikings, I think maybe a score and a field goal, maybe, and vice versa for them. If they win, I think it'll be a close game either way. It's going to be a divisional game. I'll make a couple other arguments at the end that I actually just thought of. But so here's going to be kind of like my statistical predictions in there. So for quarterback, Jared Goff, I think he's got 285 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a great game against the Vikings last year. He's on a hot streak. Um, I know for a fact I will do a video on Jared Goff's last 8 games, and his last 2 games, and kind of what he's on pace for, what he's been showing, and his growth. Will go pretty well. And the next is running back DeAndre Swift. I think will have 96 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 32 receiving yards. Jamal Williams, I think will have 40 rush yards. Really showing these kind of guys what they're able to do. I think DeAndre Swift's going to start being get more and more into the lead back role, and Jamal will continue to kind of be used in short yard situations. Receiver, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown having 8 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to break that record. Josh Reynolds, I think, will have 30 yards. DJ Chark, I think, will have 64 yards and a touchdown. Kind of a little bit of a bounce back. Tight end, TJ Hawkinson, maybe will have a little bit of a decent bounce back day, 55 yards and a touchdown. O-line, I think Goff's only... did not mean to do that. I think Goff's only going to be sacked once. I think there will be some pressures allowed, but I am confident Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell in shutting down are the outside pass rushers of Minnesota. And the interior O-line will be the only question. We'll see how healthy they are, but I think that they can handle Dalvin Tomlinson or whatever in there. So also I want to give a big shout out to Skip. And I will say he was a little bit suspect in pass protection, but he did mostly good yesterday, and he really did, I think, win the hearts of many Lions fans yesterday. Defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 4 pressures. Now, I do know this will be a little bit down from the Washington game where he had 5 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 quarterback hits, and apparently 6 pressures, according to PFFF. So he actually got even more pressures than I initially thought. But again, he's going to be the main focus now, especially he's had his put on notice game versus the Commanders last week. He had. And so I think he'll kind of be more of a main focus. Luckily, I think Minnesota's online is trash, and he'll still allow maybe a sack and a couple of pressures. Charles Harris, for whatever reason, he's really good versus Minnesota, so I'm going to give him 4 tackles, a sack, and 4 pressures. Julian will have himself a pretty solid day, 3 tackles and 2 pressures. And ironically, actually, I will see if I can pull this up. I was trying to find this earlier. Our D-line actually put up some pretty crazy pressure numbers the other day. And that's where I was really impressed. I think we got 21 total pressures. And yeah, here it is. So the Lions, as a pass rush, had 7 pressures and 1 sack. This is John Kaminsky had 7 pressures, by the way, and 1 sack. He had himself a good day. Aiden Hutchinson had 6 pressures and 3 sacks. Julian Okoye had 5 pressures. Charles Harris had 3 pressures and 1 sack. So this is according to Pro Football Focus. So that was pretty crazy on that regard, and I think they're going to have themselves another good pressure day despite some maybe solid and good protection. Ali McNeil have 3 tackles, 1 stuff, and 1 quarterback hurry. It's Ali McNeil. He's always been pretty good. And he's always been solid versus the run and always showing a little bit of a pass rush threat. Isaiah Buggs has continued to show himself to be a pretty good run stuffer, arguably as good as Ali McNeil, having himself 3 tackles and 1 stuff again. Linebacker, Rodrigo, the man, the myth, the legend, everybody's fan favorite right now on the defensive side of the ball is not named Aiden Hutchinson. With 8 tackles and 1 pass defense. I still stick to my belief that I think he's more of a Nick Bolton, but I think he's going to still be a good solid starter for us and make some plays. Just maybe needs to get over some rookie mistakes and make sure he doesn't miss tackles. Alex Anzalone will get 5 tackles, but I do think that he might allow maybe a rushing touchdown or something from Dalvin Cook. Chris Board will have 2 tackles. I feel like that's going to probably be our main linebacker duo, considering the fact Derek Barnes apparently only played 0% of the snaps, so I won't be putting Derek Barnes' numbers in here. Cornerback, Jeff Okudah, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who has bounced back and has even gained approval from Okudah haters such as myself and even some other Okudah haters. I think he'll have a 60% completion percentage, 0 touchdowns allowed, 7 tackles. Presuming Amani O plays, 64% completion percentage, 1 touchdown allowed, 5 tackles. Now, if Amani O is still dealing with his back issues and doesn't play, I will give Jeff Okudah maybe more of a 61-62% completion percentage and a touchdown allowed versus Justin Jefferson. Mike Hughes, I think, will allow a 63% completion percentage, 1 touchdown allowed, and 5 tackles. Will Harris will have 65% completion percentage and 3 tackles. That's kind of my spot for them there. Tracy Walker, I think, will have 11 tackles and 1 pass at defense. Deshaun Elliott, I think, will have 7 tackles and 1 quarterback hurry. And at kicker, Austin Seibert will have 1 of 1 kicks made. I won't predict how long the kick will be, and he'll have all extra points made. And I also decided to give up this little extra point. Detroit actually did a good job the last season versus the Minnesota Vikings. They nearly beat Minnesota. They only lost by a field goal, and we actually beat them last season. Now both teams have improved, but who's to say that we aren't going to be able to win? We also have improved mightily as a team. While they may have added Zadarius Smith, which is their only good player, the Vikings actually didn't improve all that much. Zadarius Smith is their only line player that really was a big add. None of their Vikings players are even starters right now. Not even first round pick Lewis Sign. We have guys like Aiden Hutchinson making an impact, and Malcolm Rodriguez making an impact as a starter. And I think, of course, we also have free agent additions that have made an impact. John Kaminsky, a guy who can out there apparently can get you 7 pressures in a day and even a sack. Um, you got the revival of Jeff Okuda, who's back from injury, who wasn't even there versus Minnesota as well. You got Deshaun Elliott, who's a major upgrade from Will Harris. I think probably the biggest upgrade in Lions history. And so yeah, we got improvements. We got some things made, and I'm really excited to see what we got versus Minnesota. I think it'll be a close game. But yeah, man, it's just going really helpful. Now I'll start reading some comments. I'm sure I missed some comments when I was presenting my statistical predictions. It would also be fun if you guys maybe lay up your statistical predictions in the comments for some of your players and maybe even your score predictions, and I'll make sure to like your comments and even say, "Ooh, that's interesting," and maybe ask for your reasoning as well. But yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. JB, I did not notice this. JB's classic one pride or don't ride. We love to see it. We love to see it. We're gonna need those hurt interior linemen to come back to have a chance versus the Vikings. Sadly though, they are on IR, I believe, so we don't think we'll be seeing that. I think really the biggest thing that we'll have to do is contain Dalvin Cook, but most importantly, we're gonna have to wreck Kirk Cousins like we did Carson Wentz in pass rush. Vikings have an even worse O line than the Washington Commanders, and we need to make plays versus them, and we need to make sure that their pass game doesn't kill us. And Dalvin Cook is a very hard running back to stop. I think we can all admit that Dalvin Cook is like what, a top 3 running back, one of the better guys out there. Um, but hopefully we can stop him. Green Bay did hold him to 90 yards on 20 attempts, so hopefully we can do something similar to that. I mean, he's definitely not unstoppable. I don't really know what the solution is because he is a hard player to stop. But hopefully we can do it. I don't think. I mean, here is his actually game by game from last season. Maybe we can take off. Maybe we can find something from one of these games. Green Bay shut him down. Chicago did a pretty good job shutting him down. San Francisco, Green Bay did it again. LA killed them. And stopped them. And Cleveland did. Wow, Cleveland did a good job. Oh, he only got 9 carries. He's more of a his carries go on. And Cincinnati did a good job. So maybe we need to look at these games and be like, okay, we can maybe get something from there, and then we can put them out there. So I think the main objective is keep a good pass rush, contain Dalvin Cook. That could be the main guy that I have to stop. But yeah, I'd probably say those are the guys. And I guess we'll get some game ball candidates. I guess I think Aiden Hutchinson for the defensive side. Of course, I feel like it's going to always be an obvious one. I do think maybe Jeff Okuda could be a game ball candidate if he's going to be facing Justin Jefferson, and if he can maybe have a pretty decent day versus him. I think maybe one other candidate could maybe be Rodrigo if he does a good job, makes a lot of quality tackles or key tackles on Dalvin Cook. Who knows? Maybe he could get himself his own game ball. And on the offensive side, of course, I'm going to maybe say Jared Goff. He is coming off and being the FedEx Air Player of the Week. Didn't even know that was a thing. And yeah, as well as I think maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's always going to probably be a game ball candidate, but always kind of an obvious one there. Um, but of course maybe Swift as well. There's a lot of candidates, but I would say I'm very confident maybe Jared Goff or Amon-Ra St. Brown being the main candidates there. Chad White, what up, Chad? It must feel good to have being named Chad in this generation. I forgot what it's like for Detroit Lions to win. Great job, Lions. I gotta agree, Chad. It was a great win for the Lions on that part. But yeah, so overall, it's been a really good day for me and for everyone else that's a Lions fan. We totally were feeling the one pride together. It really felt like we restored the roar these last 2 weeks. We were competitive versus Philly. We beat up the Commanders. This next week could be a huge tone setter for us to be like, hey, we may be the what is it, the touchdown underdogs. It feels like that could be our big thing. Um, but yeah, those could always be our things. And you know what? Actually, I if I could actually maybe I will say this. I do want to announce that there's a good chance there's going to be a Detroit Lions roundtable this week as well. So this could actually be a week of me actually having the most content I've had in a long time. But we could be seeing a roundtable, hopefully with either Rams House, and One Pride, myself, and I'll see if I can maybe get one other person to join. And so that's something to maybe hyped up for this week. It's unofficial. It's going to depend on everyone's schedules, mine included. Um, but yes, that could be a thing to look out for. Um, I did want to also give a shout out to offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. That dude has absolutely evolved his offense. Anthony Lynn could not even hold Johnson's jockstrap. This is 2 straight weeks of 35 points. That is impressive. Um, let's see if I can actually find the stat real quick. But I always want to give credit to the players. I'm always a big fan of giving credit to both coaches and players. But um, I think we need to give a shout out to a guy who really did a lot. Because if you have to look at the fact that when we had Anthony, we had what 3 straight weeks of only scoring 17 points. I believe that's what it was. But I believe Jeremy Reisman of the Pride of Detroit posted it. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. So our offense, second in points per game, fourth in yards per game, sixth in yards per play. That is amazing. We really did show a lot of growth. And here's the other thing: we're 10th ranked by quarterback passer rating, fourth by rushing yards, first by rushing yards before contact, eighth in receiver by yards, tied first receiver by touchdowns, tied third defender by sacks. Like that is improvement. That is amazing. I think we were also sixth in explosive offensive plays. We have showed massive growth for this team, and I'm really excited to see what we show for the rest of the season. And yeah, but yeah, sure, you're my sexy co-host, One Pride. Yeah, so that's gonna be the rest of the live for today. I will try to post my Jared Goff video sometime this week, and I'll see you guys later. One Pride, and shout out to all those who have helped me out in my career. Guys like Luke G, Rams House, That Dude Live, many guys who have helped me out become a better content creator. See you guys later.